Hello, good morning. Um, well, the other day I made a video about the what I call the Aquaverse theory. I was using this graph here, which is basically a new table, and the letter is really small, and this is really dry. This is a really dry graphic. So I made something a little bit more graphic. So I made this. And I think with this you will be able to watch it in a better way. So I basically will, and I changed the the start of the verses. This Aquaverse theory started with the advent of the metaverse, which will be called Web3. I thought it will start in 2025, but I realized that the metaverse will be still on the making on 2025, even though it will start very slowly. But I think it will be really implemented and generalized for the whole humanity in 2030. So I changed the starting date of the metaverse from 2025 to 2030. And because of that, everything changed the starting point. Basically, why I don't call this just stages? Because, as I said before, I think since now humanity has the capability of communicating with everybody, everywhere in the world, which now is just planet Earth, but in a near future will be the whole solar system. So we are going to create another verses, another virtual verses, we may call them. Um, for instance, after the metaverse, it will come the Asterverse. That in the previous video I didn't explain exactly what was the Asterverse. In fact, I got a little bit nervous because I couldn't remember exactly what I was thought about the Asterverse, and now I can explain it really well. Well, I think in the year 2030, the metaverse will be a reality for the whole humanity. That will be the start of Web3, and we are going to humanity as a whole and the new generation that will be developing at in 2030 will start using internet into the metaverse. It means in 3D, in virtual reality, right? And it will be something that will last for 20 years. That generation will be seriously damaged because of the double life between real life and virtual life, and they will be seriously addicted to virtual life, and they will get a little bit uh, disaccommodated to real life. So I think they will have a bad time dealing with the addiction of virtual reality. Now, on 2050, we will get into Web 4, and that will create a new virtual verse that will be called Asterverse. What will be Asterverse? Well, some years before 2050, the what I call the astrominery, or maybe asterminery. I think it will be called asterminery because it will be asteroid minery, right? Thing, Minories are one of the most important sources of wealth uh, in the world. People don't think very much about this because most people works in the sector service or in the agriculture service. But the fact of the matter is that this new technology needs a lot of resources coming from minery, right? And planet Earth is really small for the things that we are needing. So the asteroid or asteroid minery will be a priority in the decade of 2040, and by 2050 it will be ready. Now, we won't do asteroid minery in person. We will send probes with robots with artificial intelligence and also with telepresence. That will make the creation of the Asterverse. The Asterverse will be basically something in which most of the people that have a regular job will start working in aster minery, meaning asteroid minery. Um, in this stage, from 2050 to 2070, we will mine asteroids, and we will be learning how to do asteroid minery because that will be something completely new. Okay, and everybody will still living on planet Earth. People will have a regular life on planet Earth, and then I guess 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, they will get the virtual reality equipment in order to, thanks to telepresence and artificial intelligence, do asteroid minery or aster minery somewhere in the solar system, really, really, really far away, very minutes light away from planet Earth. That is basically what I'm saying with Asterverse. In Asterverse, people will be dealing with versions of themselves that are uh, are real but are in the future. Because when people will start mining asteroids, since these asteroids are several minutes light away from Earth, they will do things that, thanks to telepresence, will be done several minutes later, but people will, thanks to artificial intelligence, they will sense as if the whole solar system and the whole aster minery thing will be in unison. Um, Due to the speed of light, aster minery in the whole solar system won't be in simultaneous, meaning that all the people that will be working on planet Earth by thanks to telepresence uh, in the whole solar system will won't be working in simultaneous, meaning that what people do on planet Earth on any moment won't be what happened in the solar system uh, in the same time, depending on the distance from planet Earth to the place where the robot controlled by telepresence gets. That order will be fulfilled several seconds later or minutes later because of the speed of light. But thanks to artificial intelligence and very powerful uh, simulations, we will sense as if everything will be simultaneous. If something goes out of the simulation, the AI, of course, will make a warning saying that something get resulted different from the simulation, and that problem will be fixed. So it will be a really interesting moment in humanity evolution, the Asterverse. Then it will come the Allenverse. What will be the Allenverse? Well, after 20 years of aster minery, humanity will have enough asteroid material to start building the first space cities that I call. Uh, I will tell you how I call them. Astronauts. No, but that will be in the Astriverse. In the Allenverse, humanity will start building the first big space cities, and the Allenverse comes because this space cities will be in between the Van Allen belt 1 and the inner Van Allen belt and the outer Van Allen belt in geosynchronous synchronous orbit. So that's why this will be called it will be created the Allenverse, and this construction will take 20 years from 2070 to 2090. Um, this doesn't mean that people will stop doing aster minery. No, this will go on forever. Um, well, after the construction of a lot of space cities in geosynchronous orbit, um, something really there will come a problem in 2090. The problem is that these space cities will be ghost space cities because very few people will move there because of the costs. That will force humanity to accelerate the creation of the space elevators technology, and that's why on 2090 Web 6 will create the Ascenverse. Ascent comes from ascent because the people will spend a lot of time in the space elevators going up and down, because since geosynchronous orbit is 36,000 kilometers away from Earth, it will take a long time to go there back and forth. In this period, a lot of space elevators will be built, and people will do tourism, going up and down because of the novelty of the space elevators. But after 20 years of space elevators, when people get accustomed, they will start thinking about moving to what will be space continents, not small space cities. Well, small relatively, because they will be huge. Space cities will be for million people, but space continents will be for billion people. So the Astriverse in 2110 will be when people will start moving permanently to these astrinents, meaning asteroid continents, because they will have the size of an asteroid, but they will be hollow. They will be, um, thanks to centripetal force, they will have artificial gravity, and that's why Web 7 will create what I coined Astriverse. But this Astriverse will be also on geosynchronous orbit. Uh, so if, in these 20 years, these astrinents, meaning asteroid continents, will be replacing the smaller space cities for a million people. And thanks to this, the ever-increasing population of Earth, because of the eternal life technology that will create a demographic explosion on planet Earth, and we will be much more than 10 billion people by that time. Of course, thanks to technology, we will develop the technology to feed so many people. But even though it will be clear that humanity will need to start moving away from planet Earth, because we will be too many people. And also, since we will reach eternal life, people will be scared to death to die. And on planet Earth, dying is very possible because of the earthquakes and a lot of things that may happen on planet Earth. So people will start thinking about moving to a more predictable and safe place, and that will be the astronauts on space. Now, after most of the people on planet Earth move to these astronauts around planet Earth on geosynchronous orbit, it will be clear that all these astronauts, it will be really annoying to move from one astronaut to another, because you have to go out from one and then travel through space on geosynchronous orbit to the other astronaut and get in, and that will be really annoying, because people will think that on planet Earth it was much easier to go from one place to another, because we have this atmosphere that that is all around planet Earth. So scientists will develop the ring technology. So a ring will be built on geosynchronous orbit to replace all these astronauts. So instead of a lot of astronauts around planet Earth, it will be a big ring. And since ring is in Latin annus, if I don't remember bad, and it will be annular. So the name of the virtual verse in this stage will be the annual verse. I also forgot to tell that when people start moving to space in, I think, on January the 1st, 2101, planet Earth will be declared World Heritage, human heritage, and no new buildings will be allowed on planet Earth. Well, then, after 20 years of people living on this ring around planet Earth, some of them will start moving to giant astronauts on the Lagrange points L4 and L5. That will be called Web 9, and the virtual verse, I think, will be called the Lagrange verse. After that, the exploration of the solar system will start. It wasn't easy to find a picture like the one you are watching that shows all the things that have been discovered in the last years, because this is a more complete show of the solar system today. So we have the sun, the really big sun that we have Mercury, Venus, the Earth with the moon, because other pictures show Earth without the moon, and the moon is really important. Then we have Mars, then we have the asteroid belt with Ceres, which is the biggest asteroid. Then we have Jupiter. Unfortunately, there are not the Trojan asteroids on Jupiter orbit, but well. Then we have Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Then we have Pluto, which is not a planet anymore. Now it is a dwarf planet with its moon Charon. And then we have the Kuiper belt, yeah, with a couple of dwarf planets on planet Earth, Makemake in the inside and Eris in the outside. Well, that exploration, as we can watch, will be made from 2170 to 2370. It will be 200 period, a 200 years period. And I don't want to finish this dissertation without clarifying something about the exploration of Venus. Venus will be the only planet that will be terraformed. All the other big bodies of the solar system, the Moon, Mars, Mercury, Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and a lot of moons and a lot of dwarf planets won't be terraformed. They will be equipped with a ring for people to live a life very similar to Earth life, but with artificial intelligence. Sorry, but with artificial gravity. And they, thanks to telepresence, will use robotic avatars to explore and to build everything in the planet. The only exception will be planet Venus, because planet Venus has almost the same gravity that planet Earth. Now, Venus planet has this thing that the day is 243 days, terrestrial days, meaning that the sun from dusk to dawn is 141 days, and the night is the same. So that will be a problem. Now, there is another problem on Venus, besides the fact that it is a hell of heat and sulfuric acid rain, and the problem is that there is no water on Venus. So both problems will be solved simultaneously in order to terraform Venus in the span of 1 or 2 centuries. The way in which Venus will be terraformed, filled with water, and the orbit will be fixed in order for Venus to have a 24 hours day, exactly like planet Earth, but maybe with the exception that on Venus, the sun will rise from the west and will fall from the east. So that will be the difference for you to know if you are on planet Earth or if you are on planet Venus. On planet Venus, the sun will rise from the west and will fall to the east. So how are we going to do this? Well, we are going to go to the Oort cloud and start sending millions of comets filled of water to planet Venus, and they will crash on planet Venus in a way such that Venus will accelerate their rotation to reach the 24-hour rotation that we have here on Earth. Now, since Venus rotation is negative, meaning that the sun rises from the west and falls to the east, we will keep that because it will be less expensive to go on the same direction. And after that, Venus will be a planet full of oceans, like planet Earth, and it will be considered that the fact that Venus was the daughter of the Earth in ancient mythology will be a fulfilled prophecy, because Venus will be a planet that will be considered the daughter of planet Earth. It will be the first terraformed planet, and a new history will be developed on that planet. Well, I think I said enough. I know nobody is watching my videos right now, but I don't care. I will show you here. And no, wait a minute. I will show you how few people is watching my videos before ending this video. Hold on a minute. Here. Well, this will take some minutes. This is the Aquaverse theory, and I also I will take advantage of this time to tell you that the Apocalypse prophecy of 1,000 years of peace will be reached when we, as humanity as a whole, will be doing this solar system exploration, and we will do it in unison in order to avoid wars, you know. And also because the best part of the exploration and colonization of a planet or a moon is the first, the first arrival, you know. Then when everything is built, the rest is only tourism. But the colonization will be the best part of this exploration of all the bodies in the solar system. And also because it is a sure way to have wars if we say, for instance, well, this planet will go to this nation and this other planet will go to this other nation, as on Star Trek and other science fiction stories, where every planet has only one nation in it. Now, here, every planet will have all the nations on each and every one of them, occupying different parts of every single planet. So all nations will occupy Mercury I will do it in order. All nations will occupy the moon at the same time. Of course, not exactly at the same time. The United States and the West will occupy one sector, and Russia, China, and Iran and India will occupy another sector. And then we will move as a whole humanity to Mars, and some will occupy one part, other will occupy other part on Mars, and then we will go to Venus. And in Venus, as I said, there will be 100 or 200 years terraformation, but we will build a ring and we will have aerial cities on Venus in the meantime. Then we will move as a whole humanity to Mercury, and all nations will take a piece of Mercury, and then we will go to Ceres and other asteroids, and all nations will take a part of Ceres and of most of the big asteroids, and then we will do the same thing with Jupiter and their moons, and all the Trojans, and with Saturn and their moons, Uranus and their moons, Neptune and their moons, Pluto and Charon, and then the dwarf planets on the Kuiper belt. Let's see if oh, here. Okay, so I want to show you something before we finish this. Well, let's start from the beginning, shall we? Come on. Well, here. Well, the video that I made on January the 1st have only 10 views with 2 likes. The video that I made on January the 2nd has only 9 views. The video that I made, this video, it says it is removed. Well, I didn't remove it, I just take it out. Well, this is because I said some things about COVID that the YouTube algorithm didn't like, even though there are dozens and dozens and dozens of videos saying exactly the same thing by physicians, and I was based on those physicians' opinion, but it's okay. We live in a censorship era by now. Well, then on January 4th, this had 6 views. On January 5, 5 views. with a couple of comments, but that was a friend of mine telling me that I had to have a job, which I then had. Then January 6th, 7 views. Well, the same friend telling me that stop making videos and start having a life, get a job, stop fooling around. Okay. Well, it's okay. Then January 6th, 7th, only 2 views. January 8th, only 2 views. January 9th, only 4 views. January 10th, 4 views. January 11th, only 1 view, even though this is one of the videos that I like the most. And this is really prophetic. This video is really prophetic, but never mind. Well, here, January 22nd, the day before I started working, only 2 views. This is on January the 13th, but I think it was a day later, and I put it as January 13th because this was the first day of working, and I didn't upload this. Oh, here, yeah, it was uploaded on the Saturday, but I put the date on January the 13th. And I did the same thing here. I will change this soon. Well, this has 0 views. Nobody watched this video. Neither this one, neither this one. And this video has 2 views, maybe because I clarified that I will be talking about having a new job. And 2 views for this video, okay. And 1 like, oh, okay, 1 like, 1 like. Oh, well, I want to thank the person who is, no, maybe I am the one who is making this like, yeah, I am the one. So I will be thanking myself. 2 views, and this only 1 view. And well, that's it. So as you can see, nobody is watching these videos at this moment, but I don't care. Someday these videos will be remembered as true prophecies about the future of mankind, in a moment in which many are talking about the end of the world and World War III and nuclear war and climate change. No, nothing about that will happen. And very religious people is thinking that the apocalypse will be the end of the world. No, the apocalypse won't be the end of the world. It will be just the end of our presence on planet Earth, and the world will be moved to space, and planet Earth will return to be paradise, to be the Garden of Eden. That is the real meaning of the apocalypse. And also we will have 1,000 years of total peace, as prophesied on the Apocalypse book. Well, I guess it was enough for today. See you next week. Bye bye.